What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Homegrown Career Mode. This is episode number 14, and we start today's episode off by getting some tournament prize money after progressing to the next round of the FA Cup with our victory in the last episode, and also finding out our opponents for the 5th round. We'll be taking on Huddersfield Town, who right now sit in the relegation zone in the Premier League. And as we face them at St Mary's, our home form this season has been so much better. I haven't lost a game since December when we were beaten by West Ham at St Mary's. I've got to say, I'm feeling very confident of making it through to the last 8. I believe quarterfinals this year could definitely be a strong possibility. But for the first game of today's episode, we stay with the Premier League duties as we take on Cardiff City, right now rock bottom of the Premier League. And with just a few games remaining in the season, it's squeaky bum time for Neil Warnock and his boys now. If they fail to get wins together now, they're certainly going back down to the Championship after spending 1 year back in the Premier League. But to beat Cardiff in the reverse fixture away in Wales, and with the run we're on right now, just 2 defeats in I believe our last 15 games, I was feeling incredibly confident of getting another one here at St Mary's. First chance fell to the visitors though, who know with time running out need to get the wins together, and it was a good chance too. Zahore sent down the right hand side, took on Morgan Schneidlin, beat him, played it back inside, and the shot ricocheted off the post as Cardiff almost took a lead just 33 minutes in and went in front here on the south coast. Thankfully the woodwork keeps the score scoreless as it was still 0-0, and from the goal kick we were pass out from the back. Angus going giving it to Luke Shaw down left hand side with a couple of needless step-overs to say the least, before giving it to even Collins. Collins then with the ball roll played it back to Shaw down left hand side, utilised his pace, cut in from the left, lovely through ball to Danny Ings, and as Ings cuts it back to Theo Walcott. How rare is it to see a Docks cutback? I mean seriously, I rarely ever score any cutback goals in any FIFA series I do, and it won't prompt me to say, is this a fake video, Chris Smoove style? Because you don't see me cut the ball back very often. But as Shaw released things, I saw Walcott in the centre, and Theo this season has been a revelation since arriving in January. He scored 4 goals in the FA Cup, I believe. He's been really, really good for us in the Premier League too. Chipped in with a couple of goals as well, and there's 1-2 to make it 1-0. But it's not a fake video because the consistent problems with me on FIFA 19 continue. A goal from a cross is how Cardiff would get back on level terms just before the break. But I couldn't really complain too much about this goal because it was a wonderful acrobatic effort into the back of the net as Warnock's side went back on level terms. Nice cross from the left-hand side, but I said this on Twitter last night. I honestly believe that around 80% of the goals I've conceded in this year's FIFA have come from crosses. They're just far too overpowered. The trajectory, the accuracy, the curl is normally 100%, and as well in the centre, the AI marking as far as I'm concerned definitely needs improving. They often lose their men, and it's a simple free header, or in that case, a free acrobatic kick. So 1-1, Cardiff back on level terms, but in the second half, just 40 hour mark, we tried to get back in front. This would have been a big slip up for us in our hunt for Europa League football if we were to fail to find a winner in this game, and I thought if the AI keep on crossing and scoring, I'll do the same thing. Ethan Collins whips it in, and there is Adam Lallana at the back stick, scoring his first goal since returning to the Saints, and wasn't this a lovely celebration to see? Lallana, Walcott, Ward-Prowse and Oxlade-Chamberlain, all Saints boys at the academy, celebrating together with a nice little dance routine as we went back in front just past the hour mark. So Collins down left hand side, he got the assist, another academy graduate this season, one of our brightest young talents, an exciting prospect. Lovely cross, but again it shows my point for me as against me in this one, that the cross by Collins, he's a left-footed player, was absolutely perfect. I didn't even need to angle it properly. It was just a perfect weighted ball with the weaker right foot to Lallana at the back stick. Listen, lovely first touch, lovely volley. But either way, it's far too easy to score and concede crosses in this year's FIFA, and I really, really hope that EA turn it down with a patch. We've had one patch already, and I will say this. I talked about corners being far too OP at the start of FIFA. I'm not scoring as many goals from corners as you guys are noticing in this save, but crosses, as far as I'm concerned, still way too overpowered. And when, like, again, 75 to 80% of the goals are from crosses, it just goes to show it's far too overpowered, and it definitely needs to be levelled, and the playing field needs to be levelled in terms of the goals you score and concede. But following that, we need to see that Charlie Austin is off to France come the end of the season for £8 million. Totally fine with me. Again, Austin this season did score the winner at Selhurst Park to send us through to the next round of the FA Cup, where we take on Huddersfield here for this round of 16 tie at St Mary's. But Austin this season, only 4 goals this year. He's really, really struggled, and again, as one of those players who's not homegrown and trained by the club, we can only have 2 of those players players next season, he wasn't going to make the cut regardless. So to get the business done now, heading into the new season, that's just good for us. And it's a shame for Austin as well, because I remember the season, I can't remember what year it was, I want to say 11-12 or 12-13, where Charlie Austin for QPR scored like 20 goals in the Premier League. The man was on fire. Unfortunately, I haven't shown that form this season for us, and he's off to Bordeaux come the end of the season. But yeah, for the second of 3 games today, we do need to take on Huddersfield Town, my FIFA 18 main career mode team here at St Mary's, as we look to make it back-to-back victories and keep this nice winning streak going. I picked a strong lineup for the game for the first time in the FA Cup this season, and Theo Walcott would once again start and would once again score. Walcott gets his second goal in 2 games. Not sure about the celebration, that must have hurt the back a little bit, but Walcott this season, I mean, I can't get over how good this guy has been. Running in behind the back line, it's a stroke of genius to play this guy up front in this Southampton team, because we were playing him out wide, he'd be wasted. Up top, he's banging in the goals for fun, and yeah, there we are, 4 goals in the FA Cup as he made it 1-0 to the Saints. And 27 minutes in, we had a good chance to make it 2-0. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain storming down the right side with loads of green to run into. Eventually rolls it into James Ward-Prowse, holds it up, and again, it's playing Walcott in behind the back line. Schindler catches up, as does Congolo, but this has got to be one of the most bizarre goals I've scored in this year's FIFA. I tried to round the goalkeeper with the fake shot, but I haven't been able to do that successfully since like FIFA 15. And as Walcott went round him, or tried to, Terence Congolo catching up actually seems to ricochet the ball into the back of the net himself. Walcott does get a touch, and as he claims it, I'm sure it probably was going in himself without the influence of Congolo, but it definitely took a touch off the defender there. But again, Walcott claims it, so it must have been on target, as he gets his 5th goal in the FA Cup and his 3rd goal in 2 games and his 2nd of the afternoon. So Southampton 2, Huddersfield 0. The visitors didn't really threaten until late on in the game. Aaron Moy was getting involved, and this cross from the right back was played to the far post, where Ramadan Sobhi went for goal, but his header hit the top of the crossbar and went behind for a goal kick. And that was it. Final score at St Mary's, Southampton 2, Huddersfield 0. The win streak and the undefeated streak gets extended. The Saints right now are just on fire. It is, of course, our best form of the season, but I did say in the last episode, I'm sure a bad patch of form is definitely around the corner, because there's no way this is going to last until the end of the season. Otherwise, we'll be FA Cup winners and perhaps Champions League qualificationists. Is that a word? Qualificationist? Or a team that qualifies in the Champions League? Who knows? But regardless, 2-0 and through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Delighted with that. And as you can see right now in the results section, only Chelsea and Wolves have a replay to play. Arsenal are in the next round, as are West Brom. And the other teams there are Liverpool, Middlesbrough, Stoke City and Spurs. So still some big names left in there. And it's going to be tough, whatever team we face. But again, it's the last 8 now. Of course, there's no replays in the quarterfinals now in the FA Cup. So yeah, getting very real. Wembley is definitely a possibility. But for the 3rd and final game of today's episode, we would indeed take on Leicester City here away at the King Power Stadium. We're still in 8th with 13 games to go, although a win in this game could take us as high as 6th place in the table as we continue our unlikely pursuit of European football. Taking on the 2015-2016 Premier League champions, though, Leicester City away from home under Claude Puel, the former manager of Southampton. I was feeling very confident. I did have a few tired legs out there after the game against Huddersfield, and this game was coming in midweek. The first chance fell to us, Ethan Collins going for goal after this failed corner, but put it wide of the post and behind for a goal kick, and that was it for the first half. Just a one shot, and it was useless. Collins put it way wide of the post, and it was still 0-0. Not really worth the highlight, to be honest. But in the second half, another good chance for the Saints, and this time some nice build up here. Lallana to Collins into Redmond to Walcott, lovely flick by Theo, and Danny Ings denied by a great save by Kasper Schmeichel as the Dane pushed it behind for a corner. So very good build up in the second half. We were playing some good football, to be fair. We dominated possession in the first game today's episode against Cardiff. I was looking to try and pass the ball on the ground and create some nice goals, but in the second half, well, what did I say about goals from crosses? 72 minutes in, even when the cross takes a deflection and loops up about 20 yards into the sky, it's still going to find a teammate who'll probably put it into the back of the net. Abai Gomez makes it 1-0 of 18 minutes to go. The Foxes strike first blood, make it 1-0 and perhaps get a late winner and a big 3 points here at the King Power Stadium as they try and get themselves into the top half of the table. Angus Gunn beaten, but really not much could have done about the goal. Chamberlain beaten all ends up, and all Brighton's cross. I mean, I'm not entirely sure if that was intentional, but either way, and for Luke Shaw at the back stick, I talked about AL marking a bit in the episode ago. I mean, seriously, just lets Gomez get in front of him, and the laziness there to clear the ball was just terrible. But anyway, Leicester get the win. It's a 0-0 scoreline, and finally, our long undefeated streak is over. It was just 2 defeats in our last 17 games. We hadn't lost a single game in 2019 until now. Went through all of January unbeaten. but couldn't get through all of February. Gomez's goal settles the score, and Leicester get the win, and finally, Southampton's long unbeaten run has come to its end. But that went in today's episode of the Homegrown Career Mode, guys, so a big thank you for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon, featuring two massive games in the Premier League against Arsenal and Spurs, as we try and keep ourselves in the Europa League hunt with 12 games to go. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Bye.